Number 6. More stuff about sex. Who's got a case of the not gays? So there wasn't really time to give Kirk a love interest. The dude just had too much shit to do. So we have to establish him as a ladies' man, right? Because his future reputation precedes him. Wait a minute, that don't make no sense. Anywho, Kirk makes a pass at Uhura, tries to sleep with the green lady, and is always craning his neck at anything female that walks by. Establishing that the galactic ladies' man James T. Kirk has a case of the not gays is not too difficult. But then you got Spock. All anybody knows about Spock is that he's weird, he's quiet, and he likes science. He also likes looking into some blue thing. But in a film that's hypercharged with sex and flashy lens flares and aimed at a general audience, you better deal with the subject of Spock's sexuality, or else people will just wonder if he's a gay. So since they basically had nothing for her to do after she figured out the transmission thing,
Captain, we're being hailed.
the logical approach was to have her and Spock involved in some kind of weird, creepy sex thing. Now technically it was Nurse Chapel that had the real hidden feelings for Spock.
I'm in love with you, Mr. Spock.
Uhura just liked to tease Spock and kind of make fun of him.
Why don't you tell me I'm an attractive young lady? Or ask me if I've ever been in love?
Inside her head, you know she was always thinking,
Crazy weird-ass cracker.
the pairing of Spock and Uhura made little sense, other than the fact that she was indeed sleeping with him to get ahead, which is heavily implied in this next scene.
And did I not, on multiple occasions, demonstrate an exceptional oral sensitivity? And I quote,
She just say she demonstrated oral sensitivity on multiple occasions? What does she mean by that? So maybe she just used him to get on board the Enterprise, and in the next film she's gonna break his heart by fucking that green thing. I mean, you kinda get the impression that she really cares for him, but it's hard to tell what her motives are. I just don't get what she sees in Spock. Spock is like this boring, creepy asshole.
I am instructing you to accept the fact that I...
Anywho, this strangely tacked on love subplot serves two purposes. One, to give Uhura something more to do in the story,
Captain, we're being hailed.
and two, to show that Spock's got a big case of the not gays. You pound that mound, my friend. Take it at warp speed, but don't forget to vulcanize your nacelle. Next up, we got an older doctor guy named Bones, who for some reason wants to pal around with Kirk all the time.
Study my ass.
Now the audience immediately starts thinking that he wants to climb Chris's pine tree. Now before we get too far here, we've got to...
Go, ex-wife.
Oh, thank God, he finally said something about a wife. This was also an opportunity to explain his nickname to people, and that it had nothing to do with the boner.
On the left is my bones.
Bones is of course an old-timey term for a doctor. I think it comes from like the Civil War or something, when doctors were called old sawbones, because they would cut off your limbs to avoid the gangrene. But because people don't know nothing about history or anything else no more, Bones' nickname is now simplified for the stupid masses. Hey, anybody want to go get a double down with me? It's that time of day when I have to shove food in my fucking face. So they used this opportunity to kill two birds with one stone. To show that Bones ain't a gay, and to explain his nickname. Efficiency. I love it. Next we meet Scotty, and we find out that he lives on an ice planet by himself with a little green goblin that loves him. Now this is pretty fucking weird, right? Now you're probably wondering if this Scotty likes it in Jeffrey's tube or not. Does he have an infection of the not gays that must be treated?
She is one well-endowed lady. I'd like to get my hands on her ample nacelles, if you'll pardon the engineering parlance.
Oh, he said something about tits. That's good enough for me. Next is Chekhov. Whatever. And we all know about Sulu, don't we?
Your hair is like my
Oh my god. Don't forget about Nero. You'd think that a bunch of bald, sweaty men living together on a dimly lit factory ship for 25 years is weird? Yeah, it certainly is. But the movie even takes the time to establish that Nero's got a case of the not gays too.
Provide for myself and the wife who is expecting my child.
Wait a minute, the timeline just changed again. Bambi's alive again in this timeline. Except for now she's my first cat. Oh, I'm so confused.